Hey guys, Cody here.
And today, we're going to be focusing on the connection between Doom and the Elder Scrolls, and let me tell you, it's more than just a publishing company. And today, I'm going to be teaching you how Doom and the Elder Scrolls share a universe. In order to draw this divine connection, we have to begin with a little groundwork on both sides of the fence. In the Elder Scrolls, the world the game is set in is known as Nirn. On Nirn, there are several continents, the most important of which is Tamriel, where all the provinces players are accustomed to are located. Nirn is also known as a plane. In Elder Scrolls lore, a plane and a planet are considered one and the same. Planes are infinite expanses that human and mer minds comprehend as astral spherical objects. Hence why they correlate with the planets we know in our own universe. The three realms that mortal beings are accustomed with in Tamrielic lore are Mundus, the realm containing Nirn, Aetherius, or the Immortal Plane, home of places like the Nord paradise Sovngarde, and Oblivion, the home of the Daedric Planes. Inside of Oblivion are several planes devoted to the Daedric princes, of which they have complete control over. The most well-known of these is the Deadlands, home to Mehrunes Dagon, and the plane which the Champion of Cyrodiil interacts with to close Oblivion Gates in the series' fourth game. Other well-known planes are the Shivering Isles, home to Sheogorath, Daedric Prince of Madness, and Cold Harbor, the realm presided over by Molag Bal, Daedric Prince of Domination and Enslavement of Mortals. Though the planes of Oblivion are divided by the Daedric Prince who owns them, it is understood by scholars that the planes of Oblivion are technically infinite in number and beyond the comprehension of any mere mortal. Now, let's lay the groundwork for the Doom side of the lore. In the background of Doom, explained through the data logs peppered throughout the game, the Union Aerospace Corporation has made its way to Mars. While on Mars, they locate a fracture that is leaking energy. This fracture comes to be known as the Argent Fracture, and the UAC goes to work on harnessing and converting the energy pouring through into a clean, infinitely renewable energy source for humanity to make use of. Of course, they eventually find out this fracture is actually an interdimensional portal to a location the UAC creatively dubs Hell. In Doom, we are exposed to three sections of Hell firsthand. The Kadingir Sanctum, a bit hard to say. We are exposed to three sections of Hell firsthand: the Kadingir Sanctum, the Titan's Realm, and Argent Nur. Argent Nur contains the Well, the point from which the Hell energy that escapes through the Argent Fracture on Mars emanates. Through interaction with the Slayer's Testaments and other data logs, the player is able to find out that Argent Nur used to be under the control of a separate race of entities the game refers to as the Wraiths. The Wraiths are protected by the Night Sentinels, a group of knights that look very similar to the Knights of the Nine presented in the DLC for Oblivion. A Hell Priest manages to convince one of the Night Sentinels, by using his lost son as a reward, to offer the legions of Hell the Crucible, a keyblade necessary to control the Wraiths and therefore harness their power. This is how the demons take over Argent Nur and launch their assault on the human realm with the help of Olivia Pierce, a UAC scientist that they corrupt with their dark magics and turn into a devout cultist, not unsimilar to those that worship Daedra in Tamrielic lore. When the traitorous Night Sentinel realizes the Hell Priest lied to him about his son in order to gain access to the Wraiths and the Well, he and the other Night Sentinels go on a murderous rampage against the Legions of Hell in retribution, all of whom die except for one, the Doom Sentinel. It's possible that the Doom Slayer, as he came to be known afterwards, originated from another timeline or dimension, as his trademark Praetor suit is much more futuristic than the rest of the Night Sentinel's armor and has English adorned on it. And it's also stated that the Doom Slayer has traveled through both time and space in the Slayer's Testaments. It's also entirely possible that the Doom Slayer was working on destroying the Legions of Hell long before he joined the Night Sentinels, and did so just so that he could have some help defeating the Legions of Hell. It's stated in the data logs that the Wraiths utilize some form of elemental power, which is what allows them to coordinate and subsequently generate the Hell energy that funnels through the Well. So now that we've established the groundwork, we can finally get into the actual theory itself. Using the evidence we have, here's how we can argue and support that Doom and the Elder Scrolls share a universe together. Point number 1. Multiple dimensions. The first point of the theory, and the crux of it all, is that there are confirmed multiple dimensions in play. The data logs explicitly state that Hell is an alternate dimension from the one containing Mars, and it can be assumed Earth, etc. in the Doom lore. The Doomslayer travels to and from Hell using the portal through which the OAC has been extracting Argent energy. It's also stated that the Doomslayer has traveled through both space and time himself, leading one to believe that there are also other dimensions besides just those two in the new Doom universe. If he came from the human dimension, there would probably be some kind of proof or hint offered to the player that he did so, not to mention that he stated as having fought with the demons over eons, meaning whatever dimension he came from would be vastly out of sync in terms of timelines with the human dimension presented in the newest entry. Considering his armor seems to be of human origin with alterations performed by a being in Hell known only as the Wretch, it's most likely he originated in an alternate Earth dimension that the lore will eventually reveal as one of the original Dooms. I have a link to a recent Kotaku article in the description that explains that point. Point number 2. The infinite planes of Oblivion. The second point of the theory comes from Elder Scrolls lore. Since it's stated that the planes of Oblivion are beyond mortal comprehension, the ones that Man and Myrrh are aware of are merely the ones they know to be connected to Daedric princes and therefore have most likely visited or otherwise seen, and that there are most likely an infinite number of planes in all shapes and sizes. It's easy to conjecture that the world of the Elder Scrolls is one that fits the multiverse theory, or rather, that each plane of Oblivion is its own universe, separate and distinct from the others. If the planes of Oblivion are truly infinite and beyond mortal comprehension, it stands to reason that it's possible one of them may be the Hell dimension that is linked to at least the Doomslayer's original Earth dimension and the new one he is taken to before awakening at the beginning of the newest entry. Point 3. Interdimensional portals. The final point of the theory, the one that serves to wrap up loose ends, is that the point of entry between Hell and the Earth dimension in the newest entry of Doom is an interdimensional portal. In the Elder Scrolls, it's stated that portals allow mortals access to the planes of Oblivion, such as the Oblivion Gate seen in Elder Scrolls 4, but a mortal may also gain access to a plane by being directly teleported by a Daedric prince. That being said, it's never explicitly stated that the portals to Oblivion have any truly interdimensional capabilities. The planes of Oblivion are all located within one realm, Oblivion, and the portals, or the direct teleportation, merely allow mortals, who are usually confined to a single realm, transportation between realms, not dimensions. The three realms that make up the universe of the Elder Scrolls, Oblivion, Mundus, and Aetherius, can be stated to all reside within the same dimension. If a dimension were a house, then the realms would be different floors of the house that had no staircases or any practical way of maneuvering between them. The only way to traverse between floors would be if someone with the power to open a temporary door between the floors did so to let you in, or someone with the power to do so instantaneously transmitted you from one to another. Now imagine if, inside one of those realms, one of the floors of the house, was a room, which would be one of the infinite planes of Oblivion, that actually contained the power to create doors to other houses, so portals to other dimensions. This would be how the Elder Scrolls games and the Doom games share a universe. Hell would be an as yet undiscovered plane of Oblivion with the unique power to create portals to other dimensions, which links it to both the Doomslayer's original Earth dimension and the new one he wakes up in. If we then assume that the leader of this Hell plane, who we have yet to see in Doom, is a Daedric prince that may have been banished, locked away, or otherwise lost to the other Daedra and is unaware of how to traverse the separate planes and realms of his universe, it makes sense. This would also help to explain why we find an iron helmet from Skyrim in Hell. Obviously, an adventurer somehow made his way into Hell, probably through a fluke of some kind, and ended up dying to the overwhelming power of the Barons of Hell, who are fought right near his skeletal remains. Now, why wouldn't this Daedric prince traverse to other planes or attempt to invade the other realms? Maybe he has lost his power to do so and is in search of it, or maybe he just simply doesn't want to. Perhaps he wants to invade the Earth dimensions with the goal in mind to find a way to restore his power to traverse the realms. This would help to explain why the Legions of Hell were so concerned with gaining power over the Wraiths, and hence the Well and its limitless Hell energy. If their leader was aware that it had the power to open portals, perhaps he thought that it might allow him entry into the other realms. Upon finding it instead opened a portal to a new Earth dimension similar to the one he had once invaded already, he decided to do so in hopes of finding what he didn't in the first Earth dimension. Or maybe, more simply, he's just a Daedric prince of invading Earth. Again, As immortal beings that are totally alien to the man and Mur of Nirn, their motivations and goals are hard to discern, with Sheogorath as a prime example, even if he is the patron of madness. As to how he could be an unknown Daedric prince, it's easy to see that the mortal's knowledge of the Daedra is limited. There may be only 16 known Daedric princes, but there was an unknown 17th, Jigalag, the previous form of Sheogorath. If there was already one unknown, and if the planes of Oblivion are indeed infinite, and each prince gets their own plane, then it stands to reason that there are unknown princes who have never interacted with the mortals of Nirn and are therefore unknown. This prince could very well be one of those. Alright, thank you so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Even if you didn't like it, comment anyway and let me know what you didn't like about it, so that way I can get some feedback and adapt moving forward to what you would rather see me do. And I'd love to talk with you guys about this topic. If you want to, just drop a comment. I'll talk to you. We can discuss it. Tell me if you like it, don't like it, agree with it, disagree with it, counter arguments, whatever. I'm always open to discussion. So please, help support me, let me do this more. I'd love to. If you don't think that I should be doing it, then again, tell me what you'd rather see me do, and I will grow and become better. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, stay safe and have fun.